Hello, pre-notification gang. Hello, everyone. Ruanium, thanks for 69 months. Nice. The wheel build thing? You're gonna have to be more specific. You got 90 months? Nice. I'm not skipping the intro, this is just practice. Still need to watch the intro for this run. I feel like the majority of the time I fail this now is my angle, so I need to just tell myself to angle farther right. How's Arizona AC not just broken by this point? Honestly, I'm a bit surprised blackouts aren't more common. How much of the speedrun is math? There's some math that goes into it, into the routing, but using math mid speedrun, not so much. How much of one is flying contraptions? If auto build cancel counts as flying contraptions because you use a wing for it, then a lot. But it's not your typical flying contraption because it's a glitch. Also, does Pocket Rocket count as a flying contraption? If the question is closer to how much of the run is spent in the air versus on the ground, a very high percentage. Once you get rockets and auto build, you actually spend a very small percentage of the run on ground. Also, I am like really bad at this trick today. Like, when we were routing speed food, we initially were planning on getting like 10 speed food for the entire run. Like, each one being 5 minutes long. Maybe even more. And we gradually cut a lot of those down, and now we only cook 5 speed food, which is 25 minutes of speed food. For, you know, a 3-hour run, most of that being near the beginning, where we don't really have the option to fly around yet. And even in the parts where we do use speed food, later on, it's not really that much of a time save. Okay, now I'm getting it back. Hardest part of this run, probably Construct Factory. There's not really anything too difficult in this run. There's not specific things that are difficult, but there's a lot of weird, dumb stuff that can happen, like your auto build cancel just breaking mid slide, or I don't know. It's hard to like specifically pick stuff out because there's just like some random dumb stuff that can happen that you're just not expecting. Sidon cooperating. Water Temple might be the hardest dungeon just because of getting Sidon to cooperate. Okay. Let's start runs. What are the chances Nintendo Direct happens next month? When was the last Direct? I think there was one... When was the Mario Wonder Direct? Late June? Yeah, if there was one in June, I think they usually do it every like 4 to 5 months, right? So I wouldn't expect one until like October, November, I guess. Do they? Actually, I feel like they don't really do one in November. I feel like they don't really do directs that late in the year. Probably October. Racing schedule's been February, June, September. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I do feel like directs are typically around September, but I also feel like their last direct was kind of late this year. September, October, I think. Sounds about right. I wish there was a spot in the run I had to skip for. Multiple, actually. I have been looking for skips for a few specific places that almost work, but not quite. Actually, I was looking for one just yesterday. So I had an idea for skipping the lead up to Construct Factory, because I found out that the Construct Factory parts that are in the boxes, you can actually clip into where those boxes are early, and I wanted to see if you could get the Construct Factory parts out early and deliver them to the body early, can you make the body early without delivering the mask? So the short answer is no. The long answer is I found a way to clip the body parts outside of their cage without the normal panel thing you have to activate. And I brought the body part to the body, and the casing did not break. Which is kind of expected. That's kind of what I was expecting to happen. So that's sad. But then I had one more last ditch idea that I was pretty sure not going to work. So the glitch I used to clip them out of the box early was hydro clipping, which is where you use a hydrant to cause a huge amount of lag. And so my last ditch idea was use hydro clipping to clip the box with the body part into the body and see if by chance if the body part was actually inside the box and not just the box like spawning the body part. And so I did it, I tried it. I hydro clipped the box with the body part into the body, and as expected, it did not work. But what's super sad, actually, if this run dies, I actually have a video to show you guys to explain this better. But basically, so I clipped the body part into the body, or I clipped the casing with the body part into the body, and it did not activate. But then when I put the mask in, after the cutscene with the mask, it instantly accepted the body part without the casing breaking. And what that means is that the body part actually is inside the casing, and the casing doesn't like spawn the body part like older games usually would do. Which is really bad, because that basically confirms that there's no chance it's possible. Because it means that I did successfully put the body part in without removing the casing, and it still didn't activate. Thanks for the resub, Psycho. Yeah, it would have been super sick, because if this worked, it also would have meant you could do Construct Factory without Paraglider, which would have been really cool.
Cannot save you from me. Zelda.
I will not, pot friend.
Who carries that fragile sword? A Link. Rauru placed his faith in you.
Yeah, you can leave all the body parts. Well, you can't leave the body parts there, but you can carry them around as you collect all 4 of them, and then bring them back to the body and have them all break at once. We do half that in the speedrun, where we bring two body parts at a time. Or no, the flag that causes them to break is just, they just break when they're in the vicinity of the body, when the mask is inside the body. And the whole idea for this was, could we skip the mask? Could we skip putting the mask in the body? But I basically confirmed that that's not happening. Which is very unfortunate. Because it would have been a super cool skip. It would have added cool routing, because we'd have to go out of the way to get a hydrant. We'd have to take a different path down to Construct Factory. We'd skip cutscenes. It would have been so cool. It would have been such an interesting routing dilemma. This game is speedrun proof. It's not speedrun proof, but it is more annoying than I'd like to skip stuff. Like, there's multiple skips that in any other Zelda game probably would have worked, but they are just extra careful with the triggers in this. Yeah, I did see there's a new patch out that patched more stuff, which is very cool. I didn't watch any video of the glitches because I know them from reading the Discord. But actually, something interesting with the new glitches is, or with 1.2 to 1.2.1. So there was a duping glitch that still worked in 1.2 where you try to throw something as you're falling off a ledge and drop the item from the menu. And that was fixed in 1.2.1. And apparently right after they found out it was fixed, they found an alternate way of using the pause menu instead of the quick menu, and then that still works. So 1.2.1 still has a duping glitch, or at least I saw it with Zonai devices. I don't know if it, I assume it works with regular items, but I only saw it with Zonai devices. But that's cool. So duping glitches live another day. The arms race between duping glitches and patching duping glitches continues. Good start. No one's holding back on holding tricks. I mean, people have suggested people should hold back on holding tricks, but people aren't actually doing that. It's just like when a new glitch gets found after a patch, that's because people are like, okay, they just patched this. Is there an alternate way to do this? I don't think people are like, oh man, I'm gonna hide this so that they don't patch this and then release it when the next patch comes out, and then they can patch that. Because then you're just delaying when they're gonna patch it. Especially when everyone's still speculating that there'll be DLC. Like, I don't think anyone thinks that 1.2.1 will be the final Tears of the Kingdom patch. And so now is the time it's safe to release all your glitches. Because in general, I just don't think it's a good idea to try to hide glitches so that they don't get patched. Because, one, people seem to think that Nintendo is only using speedrunners for glitch patching, but I assure you that Nintendo is still debugging and QA testing their own game. I mean, I'm sure they get a lot from speedrunners, no doubt, but I think they do stuff themselves too. And also, I think at this point, because of the constant patches, people are becoming more and more open to just running on old patches. I think initially people were like, oh, I'll just run on current patch, and more people are starting to be like, all right, I kind of want to down patch. And especially with that, like down patching, if you run on an older patch, you never have to worry about it getting patched out, because who cares? You're running on an older patch. So there's especially no point in hiding glitches for old patch. Horizon digital version smiles in hackable Switch. I mean, I get that a lot of people can't easily hack their Switch because of newer versions, but if you can't hack your Switch, you should hack your Switch. It's too low. And it's great for getting good good versions of this. I don't even acknowledge the gold split. I mean, I'm sure that gold split's a gold by like 0.2 seconds. 0.7, okay. See, not a big deal. For legal reasons, that's not real advice. There is nothing legally wrong with hacking your Switch. What you do with it, you must be careful not to do illegal things with it. But just hacking your Switch alone is fine. Surely you will all only use it to modify your patches and create backup save files, correct? If the Nintendo Ninjas wanted to get me, they would have gotten me a long time ago. No, hacking a Switch does not have a good chance of bricking it. There are many safety things you can do. If you aren't careful and you connect your hacked Switch to the internet, then you can easily get your Switch banned from the internet. But that also has safety precautions. Although, fun fact, the safety precautions for making sure you don't get your Switch banned also make speedruns slower. So, yeah. So I mean, luckily I just have my Switch disconnected from the internet, but yeah. Speedrunning Raw. Thanks, Arisa Boar. I do like the music in this game. I think it's pretty good. Although I guess the music in this speedrun in particular, I think in the speedrun we never really get to hear much of the good music. You never get to hear the good particle Jira's theme. You don't get to hear. There's a lot of good music in cutscenes you don't get to hear. You get to hear Army at least. Although even the Army music gets cut short. Kill Cold Jira slower. No. Do I think this game will replace OOT? No. Yeah, you get to hear Demon Dragon at least. Army gets drowned out by ruby explosions. Not necessarily, because I think honestly a lot of the best parts of the Army music happen during the cutscene when the monsters are getting spawned. Come on. No, please. Not this again. What? What? Hate being slow at navigating the menu. I was using glitches not cheating because it's not banned in speedrunning rules. Speedrunning always allows glitches unless it's specifically a glitchless category. Okay, that was bad. Where's part of the run past GSI? Right now I'm hating Water Temple because of Sidon. If you're decoloning at Sidon, then you don't know how annoying Sidon is in a speedrun. Because Sidon just... You need Sidon to teleport to you quickly to hit the switches in Water Temple. And sometimes he will just take his sweet time teleporting to you. And then when he teleports, he'll walk very slowly up to you, and you can't go towards him because you need to stand in a specific spot. All the other partners in the dungeons have manipulation techniques, so they're not too bad to deal with. But Sidon just ruins everything. Am I hearing skill issue? I would like to know what part of Sidon randomly teleporting and walking up to me is skill based. I mean, if it is, I'd unironically love to know, because then maybe I'd stop losing time. But I am unaware of the skill portion of that. Almost died. Who wants to take bets on the construct at the end killing me? Missed. Wasn't even close. One. Okay, that was good. Yeah, the movement for that section is really cool. It sucks that GSI has good gameplay and all these cutscenes to ruin it. Because the more I do GSI, the more I actually like the gameplay of it. But man, the cutscenes drag it down. No, Message Not Found can't be used in the fuse material. It just doesn't activate when you use fuse. What? The most epic part of this run? The Demon Dragon strat is very cool, if I get it right. Fire Temple is really cool. Fire Temple has a lot of really cool strats, but it's also the hardest dungeon. Well, maybe Contract Factory. Contract Factory and Fire Temple are like tied hardest. Water Temple is the most annoying with Sidon, but it's hard to actually say it's hard because it's mostly just Sidon luck being stupid. And then lightning and wind are, well, lightning is super easy. Wind is relatively easy. Wind can be kind of annoying sometimes, but it's not that bad. Yeah, most parts of the run are pretty cool. There's really, like, the gameplay in this run is very good, I think. Pocket Rocket's cool, ABCS is cool, a lot of the, like, in-between tricks are cool. A lot of interesting routing. Just wish this run could have less cutscenes. Thanks, Chow. Thanks for the resub. Yeah, ABCS is auto build cancel slide. It is the fastest movement technique in the game. You'll see after I get auto build. Find out how to skip cutscenes easy. Unfortunately, there's 2 theoretical cutscene skips in Fire Temple and Lightning Temple. If you could hit the if you hit all the switches for both of those dungeons before the partner goes into NPC mode, like when you're supposed to start the dungeon normally by putting your hand on the panel. If you could do that, you'd skip a 2-minute cutscene in both of those dungeons. And it's almost possible in both of them too. Like, both have a realistic shot of happening, but right now they're just barely out of reach. Thanks for resub, Yuji. I think amiibos are stupid, and yeah, I don't want to speedrun with amiibos. Unless somehow they made a cool route. Like a significantly cooler route than the base route. almost missed that. Oh no. I jumped at the wrong time, so I wasted all my stamina. I don't even know if I saved time with that. In this run, you can use Amiibo to cook speed food faster and get attack food earlier. And then you can use attack food earlier to do some of the time saves that this run does with MNF without MNF. So like you'd skip the setup for getting message not found while getting some of the time save benefit, which is pretty good. So I don't know how much time Amiibo saves. If I had to take a guess, 1 minute to 2 minutes, somewhere in the 1 to 2 minute range. MNF is message not found, the unbreakable prologue master sword. Sloppy wing. Speed food timing is good though. I should get the skipping the elixir until Fairy Island. No, thankfully MNF does not have some funny stupid name or unfunny name, unfunny stupid name that the community tries to use. Okay, decent GSI. A few dumb mistakes, but no big deal. I figured out why I was failing the jump to the wing here. It's because I was doing it way too late. I forgot that it has to be early here. How did I slip off there? Okay. Saved. Don't do that. Nope. Okay, the shield has way more durability damage than I want on it. But it doesn't really matter because I only use it for rocket jumps here, but I'm not gonna get as far as I want. Also, I think I duped less than I usually do there. I think I duped more fairies and less charges than I do. But it's not that big of a deal. Okay, this should be good. I'll just do 7 there instead of 8. No, there's no fairy RNG. I was attacking my glider because I need to get my tree branch hammer to 1 durability. And then later on I'm going to transfer that 1 durability. I'm going to use a glitch to transfer the 1 durability to message not found. And because it can't break, when it gets 1 durability, it'll do double damage like a weapon would normally do on its last hit, but not break. So it'll just be permanently double damage, which is very good.
Ah. Oh. Ah.
No, most recent patch has most of this stuff patched out, or pretty much all of it at this point. Okay, so here's auto build cancel for those asking about it earlier. This is the fastest movement speed in the game. Why am I so far to the side? Not the direction I wanted. Can I run over here? Okay, perfect. Not that big of a deal. Hey Neil, thanks.
What? What? Hmm. Hmm. Ah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Tobio Hollow X-Play was fixed in the patch before the most recent patch. Most recent patch, as in the one from yesterday, patched another duping glitch. That a dupe failed. But an alternate version was found just after it, so even current patch still has 1 duping method. hope those rubies don't fall. Yeah, the only reason Paraglider has gotten in this route is because of triggers for Construct Factory and Hyrule Castle. If it wasn't for those triggers, we would definitely do this run Paragliderless. Which is very unfortunate because I think the run would be super cool without Paraglider. Okay, one fell, not that big of a deal. Actually, going back to what I was talking about earlier with what I was doing yesterday to try to skip or try to do Construct Factory early. If that worked, that would have been really cool because then you couldn't do all dungeons without Paraglider, but you could at least do all stages without Paraglider, which you could maybe argue could be its own category, which would be cool. No. Really? Dude? I hate doing this slow. Okay. So that glitch I did there was weapon state transfer to give the properties of one weapon to another. In that case, I was transferring one durability from Tree Branch off to Message Not Found. And that's going to give Message Not Found double damage permanently. Since it's at one durability but can't break. Wait. I just broke Message Not Found. I think runs over. I wasn't supposed to do that. Because I still had... Okay, so one thing I should have done, but I didn't do yet, is when I do that glitch, my items are desynced. So I have Master Sword in my hand, but... Or no. I have Tree Branch in my hand, but Master Sword equipped in my inventory. And when I did that jump slash, because it still thought I had Tree Branch in my hand, it could actually break. And so it broke, but then it broke Message Not Found in my inventory. If I have to like unequip and re-equip the weapon to sync them properly, which I should have done immediately, but because I didn't do it immediately, when I jump slashed, I broke my good sword. Okay. I guess I have to reset. Oh well. No, the saves would have it, but the save would have been... Going back to the save would have been like over a minute lost. Like, I could have continued that run by going back to a save. It would have been a massive time loss, and I just don't want to deal with it. That's dumb because I really should just make sure that I resync my weapons immediately. Because if it broke my regular tree branch, that would have been completely fine. I'd have no problem with that. Thanks, resub, C-Pig. Yeah, I broke the unbreakable sword. No, ABCS does not work in 1.2. ABC was patched out from 1.1.1 to 1.1.2. No, Breath of the Wild did not get this many patches, but Breath of the Wild also didn't have nearly as many glitches being found very early on. Can't go out of bounds because it's 1.0 only and this run is best done on 1.1. So it loses time here, but saves a lot of time later on with auto build cancel. Current patch is 1.2.1, which came out just yesterday.
What is that?
Is 1.1 most fun version? I would argue yes. I think because 1.0 has the disadvantage of lots of lag. So 1.1 has that performance increase. It has better auto build cancel. One of the downsides to 1.1 is that it has finite pocket rocket fuse. Which means on 1.0, when you're doing Pocket Rocket, your rocket will last infinitely, so you could use one for the entire run. Whereas this run has to repeatedly fuse it and do your best to conserve rocket fuse. Although you could even argue that's a good thing because it adds an extra layer of skill in routing. Because I've worked a lot on optimizing Pocket Rocket usage. But yeah, I think 1.1 is overall the best version, in my opinion.
Link!
Was that the sword that seals the darkness? The blade that
Are 1.0
shatters
versions still being sold? I haven't heard that physical versions have been updated yet. I at least, I mean, I could be wrong, but I haven't heard of any case of
carries that fragile sword.
physicals being updated patches yet.
Rauru placed his faith in you. And that was all you could do.
How do you know our names?
For a skip intro patch, well, one, it's not going to happen if they haven't done it by now. Two, I mean, if there was a run with skip intro patched and, well, first of all, because of just intro skipping allowed in speedruns, it wouldn't really matter for runs that wouldn't use glitches related to the intro. But 2, I think glitchless runs can be interesting in this game, and so maybe I'd be interested in doing it from a glitchless perspective. But that's pretty much it. I wouldn't want to run a semi-glitched category that only has like extremely limited glitch uses. I mean, you might as well just call it glitchless at that point. Cutscene skipping will not be behind a DLC paywall. Duped one less than I'm supposed to, but it doesn't really matter. The Breath of the Wild DLC armor, or amiibo armor being in the depths was neat this run. In this game. I like that a lot of the amiibo and DLC stuff from Breath of the Wild they just put in the base game. That was good. Or I think of the exact same armor being used in this game with basically no changes. I mean, would you rather the armor not be in the game at all, or changed to be worse somehow? Like, I don't see that as a bad thing considering there's a lot of new armor. Unless there's specific armor you think like should have had obvious changes but didn't. Thanks, King Kong. Thanks for the resub. Yeah, if there's no new armor, then yeah, I think it'd suck, but this game has plenty of new armor. And the amiibo armor, even though the amiibo armor isn't new, it is new to most players. So that's still at least something generally beneficial. Obviously, if it was like only the amiibo armor and no new armor, that would suck, but the fact that it is just in the base game and to most players it is gonna feel new. That's nice, I guess. Again, armor having no upgrade. Yeah, some of the armor that's not upgradable is weird. I do think it would have been nice if some of the armor that wasn't upgradable previously could be upgraded now, like the Phantom Ganon armor. Yeah, there is an All Shrines category. It's about 8 hours right now. Probably could go down to like 7 hours. It's not too awful. Yeah, it's like almost reasonable. Like I don't quite want to say reasonable, but it's like, I guess. So apparently some of the Hundo runners are getting into All Shrines, and I've seen them call All Shrines short. Or like a short run compared to Hundo. It's like Hundo runners calling All Shrines short is just very funny to me. 100% right now is, I think, record's 31 hours. Eight hours is definitely shorter than 30. That is correct. They're still working on break rules for Hundo. So technically the leaderboard doesn't have break rules, but they are discussing like how break rules will work. Like there will be, just technically on the leaderboard, not yet. Yeah, Ababob has done 2 Hundo runs in a single sitting. I think his last one was 34 hours in an RTA run, no breaks. Yeah, I think I did the first single segment OOT Hundo run. Well, no, like sleep breaks, obviously food and bathroom breaks and stuff. I think he said he just wanted to do it, like not because of leaderboard rules or anything. Just sometimes you want to try something stupid. Sometimes you have stupid ideas that you want to just try out. And nice arrow. I guess I will have one extra arrow this run. And somehow a best split. How busted is it now? This speedrun is pretty busted. We have a lot of cool glitches. We have duping, extremely fast movement. Well, I guess those are the big ones. We have clipping. Walls don't matter. Unfortunately, still a lot of cutscenes we can't skip. Is the Switch version of OOT viable for learning glitches? It still has all the glitches you would typically expect from OOT. There's no like glitches patched in that version specifically. But the big problem with the OOT version, or the Switch version of OOT, is it has very bad input delay. And also your base controller you're going to use for it doesn't have notches. And notches are pretty important for a lot of OOT tricks. So theoretically, you could learn it on Switch. Realistically, you're going to have a much harder time than on other versions, simply because of the controls. Yeah, there's a handful of theoretical skips. Fire and Lightning Temple are very close to significant cutscene skips in their dungeons. I think those are the main ones. Oh, and if we could somehow get Zora Scale or King Scale early, we could skip a significant portion of the Zora quest going up to Water Temple. Unfortunately, that would require somehow finding a way to get... Uh-oh. Okay. I couldn't let that frog get away. Oh yeah, if we could find some way to get King Scale early, we could skip a lot of the Zora section, because... So this game is very picky about triggers. Like, for any sequence of events, the game almost always has a check that you have done the previous requirement in order to progress with the next requirement. But one of the few exceptions is shooting the tier with King Scale. What happened there, dude? I like barely tapped the edge of the ledge, and so I couldn't get a proper shield jump out. I kind of want to reset this one already. This is already such a bad segment. Can't even press the start button. No, Breath of the Wild still had strict triggers like that. It's just the number of strict triggers was much lower. I'm specifically talking about triggers like required for dungeon stuff. And in Breath of the Wild, lead-ups to dungeons were just much shorter in general. But even then, you couldn't... There was no, like, skipping the order of how you would do the lead-up to a dungeon in Breath of the Wild either. What? I thought I had this problem fixed, dude. My audio's gone now. Do you guys hear audio? Okay, well this is a good reason to quit the run, I guess. Okay, whatever. Okay, let me try to fix the audio. No, it's not an OBS issue because I'm not hearing audio either. Okay, that was a bad run though. Just a sec. Oh, I should probably let me be in an area where there will actually be audio playing so I can actually test it properly. Okay, I won't be attacked here, right? Yeah. Okay, I think I know how to fix this, but this results in an OBS crash like half the time. So might crash here. Let's hope it doesn't.